scented ASMR. Hello everyone, welcome to Scented ASMR. Today I want to talk about some of the best alternatives that I found for some of my favorite discontinued fragrances. The first discontinued fragrance that I want to start with, this one is called Alien Essence Absolu, and it's by Mugler. Alien. In the bottle it's similar to the original Alien, but it's rounded and it has a deep ambery juice inside of it. And so Alien Essence Absolu, it was launched in 2012 and it's considered an amber woody fragrance. The perfumer is Pierre Alice. The top note is jasmine and the mid notes are cashmere wood and orris root. The base notes are vanilla pod, white amber, myrrh, and incense. And this is a very warm, vanillic version of the original Alien. It definitely has that Alien DNA in it, which is like a signature ambery, jasmine, and cashmere. But this one is wrapped up with lots and lots of rich and warm syrupy amber and vanilla. It's a very deep and rich fragrance. The vanilla in here is very smooth and it's creamy. And the myrrh is resinous, and it adds a bit of a mentholated smell to this fragrance. Some people dislike this fragrance, I think, because of that mentholated smell, but I don't mind it, and I find that it goes away in the dry down for the most part. The orris root that's in here, it does add some powderiness to the fragrance. And the incense, it adds just a touch of like dry smokiness. There's also a little bit of spiciness to the fragrance. And this is just an absolutely beautiful, warm, vanilla white floral. And it's really sad that I don't know if it was limited edition or if they discontinued it, but I think think all Alien Flankers are limited edition, but this one is highly sought after. It's very popular. And so the best alternative I found for it is it's by this dupe house. They're called Dapper. And I'll link their website below. I'm not affiliated with them, but in case you want to purchase this, it's the best alternative I found for Alien Essence Absolu. I would say it's about 85 to 90% similar to this one. The only difference I think is that the Dapper version, this one smells a little bit more syrupy, and it's not quite as resinous as the original Alien Essence. But I really do like this Dapper version. I think even just on its own merit, it's a pretty good fragrance. I think, I'm not sure, you may be able to order a sample from the website. But that's Alien Essence Absolu, and the alternative is the Dapper fragrance. This next one that I have here, this one is by Michael Kors, and it's called Midnight Shimmer. There's the bottle here. It has a gold cap and like an ombre colored bottle that's like blue with gold shimmer on the bottom. And the kind of signature shape of the Michael Kors bottles. Not all of them, but a lot of them are shaped like this. And so, Midnight Shimmer is considered a floral woody musk fragrance, and it was released in 2016. The top notes for the fragrance are quince, jasmine, and freesia. The mid notes are vanilla, whitewood, and amberwood. The base notes are Peru balsam, musk, and moss. And this is a warm, woody vanilla fragrance. It's a very sweet and creamy vanilla. And it's enveloped by a soft smokiness. I do pick up some of the jasmine that's in here, and I definitely get some fruitiness from that quince note. I think I enjoy quince, especially when it's blended with vanilla. You do get some of the moss in here, but it's soft and it stays in the background. This is a lovely, sophisticated vanilla. I think it's a good nighttime fragrance. Even though it's soft though, it doesn't project much. So maybe not for going out, because usually you want something a little bit louder. But I don't know why. I guess it reminds me of nighttime because it's called Midnight Shimmer. But it's a lovely vanilla, and it's sad that they discontinued it. The best alternative I found for it is it's this perfume here. This is a fragrance oil, and it's called Golden Sand, and it's by the brand Al Rehab. And the notes for this one are caramel, vanilla, amber, oud, and floral notes. And this one I think is probably about 90% similar to Midnight Shimmer. It's a very affordable fragrance. I think this oil is less than $10. So the quality's not quite as good as Midnight Shimmer, but it's okay. The differences that I find are that the Golden Sand, it's more gourmand. Like, I don't think Midnight Shimmer, I wouldn't consider that a gourmand fragrance, but the Golden Sand has caramel in it, and so it smells a little more edible. And also the Golden Sand, it doesn't have the smokiness, the soft smokiness, or the woods that Midnight Shimmer has. But it's still very similar, and it's a good affordable option. So that's Midnight Shimmer by Michael Kors, and with the alternative being Golden Sand by Al Rehab. The next one that I have here, this one is by Tom Ford, and it's called Orchid Soleil. This is my favorite Tom Ford fragrance. It's really nice. I don't know why they discontinued this one. And so, Orchid Soleil is considered an amber floral fragrance, and it was released in 2016. The perfumer is Sonia Constant. The top notes are cypress, pink pepper, and bitter orange. The mid notes are tuberose and red lily. The base notes are whipped cream, chestnut, vanilla orchid, and patchouli. And this is a sweet, very creamy, white floral fragrance. The tuberose is the main note that I pick up in here. And the whipped cream and the vanilla, they make it a very creamy and sweet tuberose. The chestnut in here is also very prominent. adds to the creaminess of the fragrance. It also gives it a nutty vibe. This does have a nutty smell to it. And there's a little bit of spice in here from the pink pepper and the red lily. The patchouli that's in here, it's very soft and it's earthy. And it's blended in really well. It's not very strong. It doesn't stand out a lot. This does give me a little bit of a beachy sunscreen vibe. But I wouldn't say this is a full-on like sunscreen-y fragrance. It's a very unique and well-blended white floral. And yeah, it's very sad they discontinued this one as well. And so the best alternative I found for it, it's this one here. And this is by Oil Perfumery. I'll also link their website below. And once again, I'm not affiliated. But yeah, this is their version of Orchid Soleil. It's very close. I'd say it's about 95% similar. If you look, well, you can't see in here, but the juice is the same color. They got the color like pretty much the same as well. And this is an oil, so it's very long lasting. I would say this one I think is a little bit sharper. Orchid Soleil does have some sharpness to it sometimes that I pick up, but this one has a little bit more sharpness to it than Orchid Soleil. But this is a good alternative if I ever use up my bottle. And so that's Orchid Soleil by Tom Ford, and the alternative being the Oil Perfumery dupe. This next one that I have here, this is by Lolita Lempicka, and it's called L de Lolita Lempicka. Nice, pretty packaging. The bottle's nice as well. And here's the bottle. It's a very unique bottle. It has this mesh on here, some stars. Some starfish. Has a little L charm. And it's kind of shaped like a heart. And the juice in here has gotten very dark over time. It used to be like a more clear. But this is a vanilla fragrance, and it's really deepened up with age. And so, L de Lolita Lempicka, it's considered an amber vanilla fragrance, and it was released in 2006. The perfumer is Maurice Roussel. The top notes are bitter orange and bergamot. Mid notes are cinnamon, immortelle, The base notes are vanilla, tonka bean, and sandalwood. And this is a warm and spicy vanilla fragrance with some citrus. The citrus that's in here, it's the bitter orange and the bergamot. But to me, it kind of smells like a lemon, like a lemony citrus. The cinnamon's very prominent, and it's what gives this fragrance its warm spiciness. I also really get the Immortelle in here, which is a floral note that can kind of smell like maple syrup. Sometimes it smells like hay or tobacco. It has a dry texture to me, usually. The tonka bean that's in here, it provides more sweetness along with some powderiness. And I think that this smells like a cinnamon spiced lemony vanilla cookie. It's a very soft and gourmand fragrance, and it's an easy to wear one. It stays pretty close to the skin. I don't think it would offend anybody. But yeah, sadly it's been discontinued. And so the best alternative that I found, it's this one here, and it's called Tender Madeleine. And it's by Licentis Gourmand. And the notes for this one are orange, vanilla sugar, Mexican vanilla, spicy notes, bitter almond, and wheat. And this is also a citrusy gourmand vanilla, and it's a bit spicy, and this one also smells like a cookie to me. The orange in here, it also comes off as lemon. I smell lemon. And so I find this one to be very similar to El de Lolita. Probably about maybe 90% similar. I think this one's a little less spicy. And this one's also a bit stronger. It's not quite as soft as El de Lolita. And I know this one's a little difficult to find in the United States. I had to order this off of eBay. I don't remember what I paid. I think it was somewhere between $20 and $30 for this bottle, which I think is a 15 ml. But it's a good alternative to El de Lolita. And so, that's El de Lolita Lempicka and Tender Madeleine as the alternative. This next one here, this is probably my favorite rose fragrance, which is saying a lot because rose is my favorite floral note. And this one here is called Parfait de Roses, and it's by Lancome. And here's the bottle. It's a amazing Lancome bottle. gold plates on them with the rose. And so, Parfait de Roses is considered a floral fragrance, and it was released in 2017. The perfumer is Natalie Lorson. Top notes are pink pepper and aldehydes. The mid notes are rose, grass rose, and the cure. The base notes are vanilla, benzoin, tonka bean, orris, and olibanum. And this is a sweet, jammy, gourmandish rose. This is unique because I think that the jamminess in here, usually jammy roses are fruity, but this one's not fruity. So I think that the jamminess is coming from that liqueur note, which does add some booziness to the fragrance as well. It also has aldehydes in here, which just give the fragrance some brightness. There's no soapiness or sharpness from the aldehydes, they're just bright. The pink pepper that's in here, it does give a little bit of a spicy kick to the fragrance. And what I really love about this too is there's like a really beautiful, airy powderiness to the fragrance. It's kind of an ethereal powderiness that kind of just sits alongside the sweet jammy rose. It's really, really pretty. And like I said, I think this is my favorite rose fragrance. So, not happy that they discontinued this one. But the alternative that I found is this fragrance here. And this one is called The Rose. And it's by Musicology. And this one has the same perfumer as Parfait de Roses, which is Natalie Lorson. And she's one of my favorite perfumers. And I think that this Parfait de Roses was probably her inspiration for this fragrance. I'm going to read the notes here. The notes for the rose. Top notes are raspberry and peony. The mid notes are damask rose and violet. And the base notes are vanilla and white woods. And this is a rose and vanilla fragrance, just like Parfait de Roses. But the rose in here is jammy from the raspberry rather than the liqueur note. So it's also a sweet, fruity, jammy rose. And so this has the jammy rose and vanilla, and this has a very similar ethereal, airy powderiness to it. Very similar to Parfait de Roses. I think to my nose, this one smells about 90% similar. Although I have heard other people say they don't find this to be that similar, but I think it is. And this is a nice alternative, I think. It's very pretty. it's nice on its own merit as well. And so that's Parfait de Roses by Lancome, with the alternative being The Rose by Musicology. And so the last discontinued fragrance that I'm going to talk about, this one is called Lipstick On, and it's from the Replica line by Mason Margiela. You have the girl here looking in away from the mirror at what looks like a vanity or something. Maybe she's applying her lipstick. And this is the replica bottle, the typical replica bottle. You have a deep reddish juice inside. And a cord around there. And no cap. They don't come with caps. And this one says, reproduction of familiar scents and moments of varying locations and periods. Originally Lipstick On, provenance and period, Chicago 1952. Fragrance description, night blush and rice powder. Style description, female fragrance. And so Lipstick On, it is considered a floral fragrance, and it was released in 2015. The top notes are heliotrope, bergamot, and neroli. Mid notes are iris, galbanum, and orange blossom. The base notes are tonka bean, bourbon vanilla, and patchouli. And this is a powdery iris and vanilla scent. It definitely smells like a powdery vintage lipstick. And it has like a deep vanilla smell to it with a little bit of earthiness from that patchouli. And it's also lightly sweetened. So it's kind of a sweet lipstick smell. I pick up violet in here, but there's no violet in the notes. But I often find that violet can remind me of lipstick. So I think maybe they used to use violet in lipstick. Yeah, this is really pretty, and I don't know why they discontinued it, because I think it was popular. But the alternative that I found for it, it's this one by Jimmy Choo, and it's called Irish Crush. And the notes for this one are freesia, neroli, and pink pepper. Mid notes are iris, lipstick, and heliotrope. And the base notes are tonka bean, musk, and patchouli. And so this has that powdery, earthy lipstick DNA that Lipstick On has. But this doesn't have the deep vanilla that Lipstick On does. This one also, I feel like this is lighter, and there's some fruitiness in here, although there's no fruits in the notes. I get a little bit of fruitiness in here. I would say this one's about maybe 80% similar to Lipstick On. Like I said, it's just not, it doesn't have the deep vanilla, and this one has a touch of fruitiness to it. I actually had an alternative, a dupe house that makes, well, I guess they used to make a Lipstick On fragrance that smelled almost exactly the same. But I went on their website the other day and I didn't see it there anymore, so I don't think they make it. But if you want to check, they were called Scentville, and they are on Etsy. So maybe they'll bring it back in stock someday. But for right now, this one I think is the best alternative. And so that's Lipstick On by Mason Margiela, with the alternative being Irish Crush by Jimmy Choo. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the video and maybe got some good information out of it. And I really hope it was relaxing for you. And I hope to see you again in my next video. Take care.